Friday, Q&A, Fanmail! Lovely. I'm wearing a bucket on my head as a demonstration of just how far my standards have slipped. Talk about events. I will be attending Maryland Mayhem next month. That is fully booked. I will be traveling with one member of the crew. We are not doing a full deployment, but any members of the auxiliary who wish to run with us are welcome to do so. We are going to take it seriously and then try to survive as long as we can. We'll see how well that lasts. But by all means, find me at the event, and we can nerf. It will be good. I'm also planning to attend Survival Fest, potentially with crew. And Survival Fest, we are planning to do a full deployment, so be aware of that. Let's answer some questions. There's some good questions in here. Alan Sutherland asked, what screw threading has the moral high ground? It's hard to not go with ISO metric, just because metric is better. It just is. We need to admit this and come to grips with this in the United States. But what I think is a far more interesting question is what threading has the least moral high ground? And I think we can all agree that it's going to be E26, I believe, also known as Edison threading, which is the threading in standard light bulbs that was patented in 1881 and is still in use today and was, of course, stolen. Edison was swine, and we have him to blame for a lot. CC7567-X2K. What do you think of the One Piece Netflix live-action Lego sets, and would you buy them? I don't think I've even seen them, and maybe. I'm a big fan of Pirate Lego, and so if there are elements in those sets that I could easily use in my own pirate builds, then absolutely. But if not, I do like the idea of the unique. There's going to be a lot of unique figs with like elements that we've never seen before, and you could create, interesting characters, which they are, and then, so maybe I will be keeping my eye out on them. Random idea generator. Will there be any more K26 episodes? That is hardly a random idea. Yes, probably. Eventually. Maybe. I make no promises. Huntress. Looking at the current G.I. Joe classified pickings, which is your favorite and which would be a good base for a Captain Xavier custom? I had to do some research on this one. My favorite, I really like the look of Viper because he's a heavy weapons kind of guy. And he actually wouldn't be a bad option if you wanted to do my heavy loadout, or my old HVZ loadout, a tier loadout. Because he's got the backpack belt feed thing, though it's not going to a minigun, which is just a shame. I don't know why they didn't make it go to a minigun. But you could easily convert the weapon he has to be minigun-ish, probably. But he's also got the riot armor looking stuff. If you wanted one that didn't have a full mask on, then probably Breaker, because he's got a beard and a tactical vest, and you could do like my HVZ loadout with him probably a little bit easier. Worth a try anyway. Underscore TW300. How would you run an Escape from Tarkov style game? So what he means by Escape from Tarkov style is loot acquisition, essentially. Where you can acquire loot and sell it for better loot and pick up loot and people drop loot. And really the biggest concern would be people not wanting their stuff being used by other people for fear that they might break it. So you might have to provide all equipment in the event. And then it would just be a matter of when you get tagged, yeah, you drop your gear and you have to go back and get new gear. And you'd have a starter gear bin where, okay, if you're starting out and you don't have anything, you get a pistol from the bucket. And then from there, you'd have loot out in the battlefield that people could pick up. People could collect stuff and again bring it in, and you'd have to come up with a trade system, the equivalent, figure out what things are worth. And it would be a lot of prep and a lot of bookkeeping. Well, it wouldn't necessarily be a lot of bookkeeping. You could keep it simple, depending on how complex you wanted how granular and complex you wanted your merchant system to be. But the biggest part would be someone would have to be in charge of running the store, really. But you could do it. We have done events where people drop their blasters when they get tagged. And And it's usually like everyone has hammer shots, and you drop your hammer shot, and other people can pick up your hammer shot. And like ammo is limited, so you can't reload from the ground. You can only reload from what you've got, and you have to acquire. Basically, it's how Afterworlds does it. But you can loot bodies in Afterworlds, and there's certain things that can't be looted, and you can always start with a minimum of a certain thing. And anyway, it can be done. Cutie Patootie 2025. If you had to play William Tell with you as the one with the apple on your head, what blaster would you want the shooter to use if they are standing 25, 50, 75, 100 feet away? You didn't mention there being a consequence for them failing to hit it, so I'd probably go with a Maverick, because they ain't going to hit me in the face, and they ain't going to hit nothing. If I really need them to hit the target, probably a Kunlun at this point. Maybe the Moose, just because it has the range at 100, but I don't want to take a Moose round to the face, so yeah, really it's not going to be the blaster that's going to concern me nearly as much as the person using it. But the blaster would definitely help. Seth's Nerf Fun. What is that pointy strife-looking thing behind you above the Spring Thunder and below the Bolt Pistol? Above the Spring Thunder. Oh, that is a Guitar Hero guitar integrated into a Strife, or a Strife integrated into a Guitar Hero guitar. It was a mod exchange I did years and years ago. One of these days I'll get around to actually modifying it, because it just has stock internals. And maybe I'll run it somewhere. I never have. I don't think I've ever even put batteries in it. I don't even know if it runs. But it should be possible to still take it apart. They did a decent job in the integration. Not the cleanest putty work, but it is what it is. And it's a unique and cool item. So that's what that is. Haha! Direct hit! Toothy Helm, what motors would you recommend for a Mega Flywheeler? Probably the motors that came in it. Like if you're upgrading, one of the existing Mega Flywheelers, just use them. They're usually a bigger motor. They can take more current. They should be able to handle a decent amount of voltage. If not that, rival motors, you're looking at 360 motors. I wouldn't try a 180 or a 160 motor like Krakens. They're not big enough, in my opinion, to handle the heavy rounds. So I would go with a larger motor, either a 360 or a 380. So you're looking at rival motors. I don't know, like a specific, here's a link, go buy this one. If I had that, I would be buying them. I haven't looked for upgraded heavy motors since I built Tier, like 9 years ago. Nfump. Did the sword fighting you did in your medieval recreation days differ much from HEMA? No. In fact, arguably it was a form of HEMA. HEMA being historical European martial arts. It wasn't, in that group, it wasn't taught at the same level that HEMA does, where, there's classes and discussion and all of that, but most of it was just learn to swing a sword. But some of us did study HEMA and went to HEMA and brought what we learned in HEMA to Adria, and it's completely cross-compatible. Yeah. Jonathan Barry. Who is your favorite Star Wars bounty hunter and why? Boba Fett, because he's the best. And because I thought he was cool since I was a wee child, and I'm not changing my opinion now. Hose a Gammon. Do worker half-dart mags work with the Nerf Pro blasters? Yes. Kind of. The Strife Pro and the Strife X takes standard Talon mags, whereas the Sender and the Torrent take angled Talon mags, but they should be cross-compatible, I believe. Dank Memes. How did you get into Nerf in the first place, and would you have ever imagined that it would take you to where you are now? I got into it through Humans vs. Zombies, HVZ, at the University of Idaho, and good lord, no, did I never imagine it would get me where I am today. And in some ways, if I'd known, I might not have done it. But Too late now. Brian Drake. Is it wise to leave batteries in stock blasters? No, it's not wise to leave batteries in anything. Because they will eventually leak and damage the battery. Or damage the blaster. No, if you're going to be storing things for long periods of time, always take the batteries out. Never a good idea to leave batteries in something. Rex Regum 2. Back in your Adria days, how did you make your plate armor? The old-fashioned way, with a hammer. I had a variety of tools, all of the tools I still have today, and over the years in that, I got better tools. So I started with a drill, a jigsaw, and a hammer, and later I got properly bench-mounted Beverly shears and belt or bandsaw and drill press and a proper anvil and more hammers and planishing tools and all of that. But I did it the old-fashioned way. You hit metal with a hammer until it's the shape you want, which is you. You are the shape you want. Aha! Oh, missed completely. Right, if you would like a question answered, I know I haven't done one of these in a while because I hadn't gotten any fan mail in a while, but I do today. Ask that in the comments of this video, and I will possibly get to them next time. If I don't get to your question, ask it again next time. I'll try to remember to answer questions that I don't answer in the video in the comments. I try to do that because not every question is a good question to answer on here, and sometimes they're time sensitive and whatnot. Anyway, taking the bucket off, and we're going to take a look at stuff. I have an envelope and one large package. We're going to start with the envelope, which I think is art. If it's what I think it is, which it might not be. It is. Happy birthday, Captain. I wish you a good birthday and hope you receive this before it's over. In this envelope is your coffee painting that I haven't been able to send you due to lack of proper packaging. I hope you like it. And I hope you will continue to inspire others to get into the hobby. Thank you for all that you do, and bangarang! Oh, that is magnificent. Bangarang, it's modular. I'm getting shelled. Give me some ping. Behavior spelf, my dear. Can I take a K-26? I am not impressed. Chaylo Laurino, aka Captain's Ever, founder of the Auxiliary, Archduke of Normandy, Fairly Zombie Slayer, the ultimate lover of Sprecher, friend to all, leader to all. That is a magnificent. This picture was taken at I think it was the reception of my friend's wedding? Something involving my friend's wedding. And yes, it's me with a bottle of Sprecher. And it even looks like me. That is fantastic. This will be getting framed and mounted somewhere. That is cool. I love getting art. Very, very cool. Alright. We've got a package. The letter is apparently on the outside. We're going to attempt to get to it. Oh, Captain Xavier. Enclosed in this package is, oh, it's the thing. I'm not going to tell you what it is. I'm going to show you what it is. I had completely forgotten that this was coming. And it's going to be magnificent. Oh, look at that. For human use only. Oh. That is a thing of beauty. That is entirely too much fun. So, yes, it's an LMG. Flywheel, it's the MHP arms, belt-fed thing of opulent glory. It looks like it came with 2 different ammo boxes. That is super cool, and in my colors. Yeah, this will be getting a whole review, definitely. That is incredible. I don't know what to say. Thank you. Other than thank you. That is simply one of the coolest blasters I've received in a very long time. See, now Viper is a much more viable option for cosplay, because what he's got is an LMG that's backpack fed. I don't have this backpack fed, though I've got enough chains I probably could. Anyway, that is just way too cool. Now I can actually read the note. Raven, aka Lego Boy. Enclosed in this package is an MHP Arms LMG with a single stage cage, high rate of fire pusher motor that is intended for 3S use. It can be undervolted for 2S for lower FPS and rate of fire. The FWC is also wired with an XT60 connector for easy upgrades, swaps, but disassembly in the front of the blaster takes some time and a lot of 3M screws. Yeah. You swap gearboxes, 2 size ammo cans, the 50 and the 100. The belt are printed in TPU. I recommend 98A Shore Hardness TPU if you wish to print more. Files can be found for free on Mr. Heath Pants' printables. I'm one of the first to get my hands on the files, but my personal MG took some time to build and tune and get working right. This one should be tuned up, and if you have any issues, feel free to reach out. Finally, there's a headless Titan rocket in the box. I'm sure you will be happy to repair. Absolutely. I wish you a wonderful season of nerfing and hope to see you at Maryland Mayhem. I will be at Maryland Mayhem, sir. I probably won't bring this because it probably won't fit in my travel trunk. But this is gonna get used. This is going to Afterworlds with me at some point. I have no doubt. That is just way too much fun. All right. Thank you. You spoil me rotten, and I love it. Beautiful art, beautiful blasters, wonderful comments, and nice things said about me. Now I gotta go get ready for stuff. Thank you for watching.